Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 5th. We are going to jump right in here, Taurus, and we are going to see what is going on for you this week. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time, Taurus. Also, feel free to make sure to only follow the social media accounts linked in the pinned comment down below. There are tons of scammers going around claiming to be me, asking for money, asking for personal readings, pretty much, the whole 9 yards. And so I will never do any of those things. I will never do personal readings. I will never ask you for money, and if someone does that claiming to be me, make sure to report them. But Taurus, let's see here. You have the Page of Cups. I get a very strong dreamy energy, especially in this deck, the Light Seers Tarot. Like, it really looks like he's like dreaming big time on this card. He's like in a very dreamy state with this energy. You have the Ace of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Knight of Swords here. I do feel like there's a need to kind of like slow things down. You have the Tower here. Again, I wouldn't worry about it just yet. Like I always say to people, like, one bad card isn't going to mess up your whole entire reading. The reading is pretty good otherwise, right? So we're going to have to clarify this and see what's going on here. But Knight of Swords can represent rushing or doing things too quickly, and that's kind of like the feeling that I get here. It's just to slow things down. Even if we go this way, Knight of Swords Tower to the King of Pentacles, this direction, it's kind of like saying, King of Pentacles is you, number one, Taurus, so you're coming up in a very strong position by showing up as yourself here. But it's kind of like saying, kind of stick to the basics is what I'm getting here. I almost get this sense of like overcomplicating things. You're like the second or third sign this week that has had a message of overcomplicating things. And in a lot of ways, it, just could be a collective energy. And I feel like this is like saying, like in work, in business, in love, in money, in spirituality, in health, all areas of your life, if something has worked in the past, it's going to continue to work. So, in a lot of ways, I feel sometimes the universe is like, listen, there could be a lot of dreaming going on, which is great. Write all your ideas down. But for whatever reason, I feel this reading is saying that there could be a mistake made if you try to overcomplicate things. Is it the end of the world? No. I always tell people, I encourage people to have tower moments. I encourage people to make mistakes because it's like, that's where you're going to learn. That's where you're going to grow. The tower has to fall. The tower is weak in the first place. And the whole point of the tower is to rebuild your tower stronger. So to me, the tower is a good thing because it's like you're releasing something that is weak in the first place. So by all means, if you want to have a mistake, go for it. I feel like it's a good idea. Personally, I'd rather get the towers out of the way early, right? And that's what I'd say here. You have the Ace of Swords, Queen of Wands, Knight of Swords again. I don't know if I said that already, but let me say it again. I do feel like there is going to be a victory coming for you. This could be definitely a sacrifice, And again, you're like the second sign that had something about a sacrifice in their reading. The Ace of Swords is a good card, but, the sword cuts both ways on the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords does represent needing to make some sort of sacrifice. Again, I feel like this is something you need to let go of. Anyway, the Ace of Swords to the Tower to the Eight of Swords. It's like whatever you're releasing is something that's keeping you stuck in prison in the first place. I almost get this sense that you could be making something out to be much more important than it actually is in your life. This whole last row is kind of like you walking away. Eight of Cups, walking away from things that no longer serve you. So in a lot of ways, it's like you could be thinking, maybe you're having a hard time letting go of a relationship, but number one, maybe you don't realize how attractive you are. Number two, maybe you don't realize that this person is a handsy Knight of Swords, right? And there could be something much better for you. So, that's what I'd say here. Maybe you've already gone through the tower moment, had the loss, and it's kind of like you're realizing that. But let's see here what is going on for you here, Taurus, in this row. And where is this going? Yeah, definitely a new beginning. Page of Wands. Page of Wands, like going on a new adventure. You have the Seven of Wands here and the Six of Cups. Yeah, be careful of someone trying to come back from the past with this energy, is what I would say to you, Taurus. Seven of Wands can be a very fixed energy, right? It can say that you're very... It could say that, you think that you're very sure that something is for you. But Eight of Swords, I can't get over this. Eight of Swords is like being stuck emotionally. So I would just be careful of like staying stuck in an emotional prison here when there could be something, and you have the Seven of Wands here as well. So there's like clearly something much better coming in for you after some sort of sacrifice. You have the Buffalo Spirit. It's funny because in the Tarot of the Wild Unknown Animal Oracle, the Buffalo kind of can represent the Tower energy, even though in this deck it says the abundant universe will provide. So clearly there's a lot of abundance coming in for you. And I feel like you need to trust that. But you have the Hierophant, the Tower, and the Seven of Wands here. The Hierophant is you coming up in a very strong position. You know, in a lot of ways, I feel like you're finding out something isn't true here, is what I would say to you. It's not like, this is not a lie. This is not like it's not like you're discovering the truth from a person or anything like that. The way that I would explain this is that the Hierophant can represent traditions, morals, things that you've believed for a very long period of time, right? It is a card of traditional beliefs. The Tower would be the destruction of a belief. Neptune and Pisces. I talk about this all the time. To me, Neptune and Pisces is basically like pretty much everybody's going to be flip-flopping their beliefs over the next, like, I don't know, till 2025 when Neptune leaves Pisces. That's the whole point of Neptune and Pisces. It's just like, you know, is there a reason, or do you need to believe the things that you believe about everything in your life, not just like one topic, but pretty much everything. And for some of you, I feel like this is kind of like saying the more flexible you can be about your beliefs, number one, the better. Here with the Seven of Wands, kind of I'd say the confusing part about this reading is this King of Pentacles that's showing up here, because every time I look at it, I just keep getting like, if something has been working for you, then keep doing what works, even though this is like saying change your beliefs. But I do think they're kind of like two different things, I feel like they're two different parts of the story, basically. So, definitely keep that in mind. But I do feel some of you could be, having some sort of belief challenged. I would say this is a good thing because, like, in a lot of ways, I feel like saying, get ready to have your mind blown here is what I would say to you, Taurus. But let's see where this is going for you. Let me just get a good shuffle on this clarifying deck, and what is going on here? Yeah, you have the death, again, the death of something, which is, we kind of already know this, that you're going through a transformation because a lot of these cards, like you're walking away from something, like beliefs, Tower is like a death. You have the Seven of Swords, and funny, because that's a card of lies. You have two sevens right next to each other, though. And two sevens to me can represent internal fears that don't exist. So it's definitely time to let go of your fears. And you have the Three of Swords here as well. For some of you, this could be like walking away from a heartbreak, or needing to walk away from a heartbreak. Some of you could be, experiencing heartbreak. I would say if you are experiencing heartbreak, it's probably happening right now. I don't know what week it is. It's June 28th at the time of me recording this video. And what I would say here is that you could be currently experiencing it, meaning that by the time you watch this video, it will be the past. But again, I feel like what you don't realize is that there's like better things coming in for you. Remember what I was saying at the beginning of the reading? It's almost like you're making, with the Eight of Swords, it's almost like you're seeing something as being more important than it actually is kind of what was popping into my head with this Eight of Swords energy. So I have a feeling we're going to have to pull an extra row because I need more clarity on this reading. But you next have the Page of Swords. I do feel like saying something is opening up. This angel has their arms like this, like wide open here on this card, Taurus. So in a lot of ways, I feel like something is opening up. You have the King of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Cups here. The King of Pentacles, I feel like, is you. I feel like you need to stick to what works in a lot of ways and, continue to do what works in your life. But the Eight of Cups and the Eight of Swords, you walking away from something. That Page of Swords is like being open to discovery. Page of Swords is kind of like the card of being a detective, like really looking into things, doing your research, and really kind of finding answers. So I feel like that would be a good energy for you to step into. You have the Three of Wands here, a lot of expansion coming in for you here. You have the Devil showing up. I would definitely be careful of tricky people, number one. And you have the Emperor as well. I feel like you need to stick to a plan. So if you have some sort of plan for your future, I feel like you need to stick to the plan and just keep doing what works. Like I said, for a lot of the signs that I've read for this week have been getting this message of just like needing to focus. Again, I feel like it's a collective energy right now. Even the Ace of Swords is my card of laser-like focus, like really, really paying attention to the details and kind of like staying focused on what you're working on, in work, business, spirituality, health, love, pretty much everything. But I would, number one, don't be afraid to sacrifice something that is toxic. It could be a person, could be a relationship, or something like that. But Taurus, I need some I need some final outcome energy here. I need some, I'm just going to ask the universe for whatever wants to show up here. What can we get? Any more details for, like, what the hell is going on here, Taurus? Let's see. You have the Four Swords going through recovery in the near future. You have the Six of Wands, success here. And I feel this way here. I feel like I needed this card as well. The Fool and the Page of Wands, taking a leap of faith on a new path here. For a lot of you, it's funny that I said get ready to have your mind blown, because really, number one, I do feel like you will be kind of blowing your own mind but it's like the words that I'm getting here in this last row are with like what you're capable of. So for a lot of you, I feel like the Eight of Swords is saying don't limit yourself. It's like you're much more capable than you realize of accomplishing a lot more than you think you can in your life. I also feel that you could be kind of blowing the minds of some people in your life by like what you're able to accomplish. What's the problem though? There's some sort of issue here. You have the World card. I feel like some of you are waiting for something to come to an end, and you have the Heart of the Sky card here, which is kind of like a card of like the universe being at your back, kind of supporting you. So I feel like the universe is like really supporting you at this time. Let's see here. You have the Two of Cups. Your higher self is calling you to do something. Two of Cups, really good card for love. Eight of Pentacles, just put in the work. You will be successful. And the Empress, damn, is all I have to say about that. Emperor and Empress, divine counterparts showing up here. I would say to you, do not be afraid to have this Tower type situation, especially if you're like in a bad connection, like a love connection that isn't really working out. Don't be afraid to let it go. I feel like it's a good thing. I feel like the universe wants you to let go of things here, Taurus. If you are thinking about, it's kind of like weird because I get this like stuck energy. I'm just going to tell you how I'm feeling. I get this very stuck energy on that Eight of Swords. And in a lot of ways, I don't really feel like the reading is saying do something new necessarily. I feel like it's saying put in more work to what you've been working on already here. I feel this very limited energy here in this row, maybe because of your beliefs or because of your past or your past beliefs. That Buffalo Spirit really says the universe will provide, right? It's like if you're wanting to, maybe you're focusing on starting a business, Eight of Pentacles, or you're like wanting to make more money, or you're wanting to get into a relationship, whatever. I feel like this is saying that the universe is going to provide you with that energy once you get moving here, Taurus. So I would like start, getting moving towards a goal, something that you want to accomplish, because I feel like you will be very successful. I'm going to pull 3 more cards. I'm actually going to do a yes or no question. I didn't do it for anybody else, but I'm going to do it for you for more clarity. So we're going to pull 3 cards here, 3 yes or no question cards. Feel free to pause the reading if you need more time to think of your questions. I'm also going to answer those all. I'm just going to put them all together as well. For question number 1, you have the Seven of Pentacles. I would say yes. I feel like something, again, I can't get away from this feeling of like something needing more work here, but it's like you're limiting yourself with this Eight of Swords for some reason. Like I would say for those of you that are working on a business or a career or a job or whatever, like I feel like this reading is like saying you're thinking too small for whatever reason. I think you need to think much bigger. For some of you, I literally feel like the mindset shift is going to be the thing that causes Three of Wands, the expansion, right? It's just thinking bigger, plain and simple. For others, it's like maybe you're trying to get a job, and I feel like you're going for like a lower position. I feel like the universe wants you to stretch and go for a higher position. For question number 2, I would say yes. Page of Cups, yes, definitely very good at energy, happiness, good things coming in. And for question number 3, Chariot. Yes, definitely a major victory coming in for you here. I feel for a lot of you that this is saying that there is a change in direction that is coming in for you here. There is a certain element of release with the Chariot and also that Buffalo Spirit, the abundant universe will provide. And again, this Tower energy as well. It's kind of like, the Tower to the Eight of Swords with the Emperor is very controlling energy. I almost get the sense here, Taurus, that after babbling on for, 14 minutes, whatever it's been in your reading, that this reading is trying to say, like, once you release and let go and just kind of go with the flow, so to speak, and as long as you're not too fixed on how you're going to get somewhere, that you're going to be very successful. Chariot is like leaving, he is normally leaving a city behind him, and, these 2 sphinxes that are normally at the front of the card, they have no reins. There's nothing that is attaching them to the Chariot. A bad example, because on this deck there is, but traditionally, there are no reins that are guiding the Chariot. And it kind of says like, that he is trusting, the chariot driver is trusting that the universe is going to guide him in a certain direction, or is going to bring him to where he needs to be. So I do kind of like get that for you here, Taurus, that you need to like kind of trust that the universe is going to guide you towards this abundance and success. Again, very interesting. I do feel like saying get ready. So I'm going to say it. But there you go, Taurus. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. Also, feel free to like and subscribe. Really appreciate the support. But thank you, Taurus, and definitely enjoy your week.